Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Casa d'Angelo, with locations in Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, and Aventura.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Getting off to a little bit of a later lunch today, but that's okay. I hit the gym. Defo hit his walk of life.
No,
Lubie,
it was
no?
raining,
No,
rained
walk
out.
of life.
Oh, well, I misspoke. And Lubie hit the doctor's office this morning. Another baby checkup. We're at Wicked Cheesesteaks. We're going to be enjoying not just Brian's fine, usual Wicked cheesesteaks and chicken Phillies, but he's got a new product that he's very proud of. It's I guess you call it a Northeast style roast beef sandwich. We're going to be trying some of that. But Lubie, let's get the. You want to do the baby report? I guess. Yeah, baby update. You can actually see a face.
There is a
and
face,
it's making
yes.
a Lubie face.
Oh,
It's like, what am I doing in here? It's very cramped. It's a little damp.
I didn't even think about that. I should actually put it up there so we can just see the little one already being bitter. It's from pre-birth. He's already instabled in him to be bitter. Everything's good, thank God. We did what they call a scan. People who have had babies in the last 5 years or so know what that is. But I found my friends have kids that are 10. They're like, oh, that's so cool that they can do that. So I'm like, oh, I guess this is a newer thing.
So they check all the organs.
They literally went through everything. They do the brain, the heart, the chambers of the heart.
How about a schmeckle? How's the schmeckle
They showed
looking?
the penis, and the lady was like, good for him. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Good for him. They
Can you tell the scale?
Yeah,
of
you could
things?
actually see it. So I was
Okay.
like, oh, it must be decent size if you could already see the thing.
God.
They do the bones. They do the organs. They literally go through freaking everything, and everything, which is a word you want to hear a lot when they're doing this. The word perfect and beautiful was used a lot.
Well,
So
in honor
we're
of
very
you
excited and
and
very
your
happy.
impending fatherhood, I guess, Defo, you got
Dad's
the
paying homage.
dad's
Defo's
root
paying
beer,
homage to me,
right?
exactly.
The dad's root beer is on the
Very
table.
tasty. Calories 0.0.
Diet.
Yeah.
It's a diet dad's.
Yeah.
Now, you've got the other root beer. Of course, Wicked Cheesesteaks, 4824 North Federal Highway. And they're packed in here today because Brian is taking Tuesdays off now during the summer. And it seems like there's pent-up demand. We came in, the place was packed.
Jamming.
Line really, literally out the door.
Yep.
Every table taken. And that's why we got off to a little bit of a late start. And now we got a big raucous group here, including, I count 3 or 4 babies. I think it's like the MAGA
Straight.
baby movement is here
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, there you
But yeah, and everybody's got their root beers and stuff. And looking forward to having another fine lunch. Defo, how are you doing? You said you got rained out. That is a shame.
Yeah, it's okay. I have some stuff scheduled. I'm hoping it looks like it's cleared up. So doing a little doubleheader today. I'll probably get back home. I have to make a trip down to one of my favorite stops. Meals for Dogs are
Nice.
right after we get done here, and they do a great job. Skippy Dog still going strong at 17, largely because of the health advantages that you get by spending like another $1 or $2 for dog food. And you can make it yourself, but they do a great job. I recommend them wholeheartedly, all around the country, all around the world.
Nice.
They'll ship this stuff, but they're on Oakland Park and Federal.
Worth it for family members, right?
Yeah,
I
you know
mean,
what? I have to say this. I mean, there's sometimes if you pay attention to your health at all, and this is especially true, vet bills are probably the worst thing
Oh,
you could
God.
ever deal with.
Oh, believe me.
I don't care how trusted your veterinarian is, how close you are friendship-wise. Very expensive, and it's always like a sticker shock thing when you go to the vet. I've rarely had to take these dogs to the vet, and I attribute it largely to the good nutrition they're getting from Meals for Dogs.
Nice.
Couldn't recommend. I wish I could eat this stuff myself. It's tempting to actually.
It's great because it's
Yeah.
like it's the old saying. Remember, they had a car repair shop. You could either pay me now or pay me later.
Wow.
Same
Yeah.
thing with the dog. With the
I
pets.
mean, I probably saved tens of thousands of dollars
Well,
in vet bills.
and that's something. The worst. I at one point when I was married, we had cats. We had 2 cats, and And then, one of them got sick, cancer. It's one of those things that you'll pay any price to kind of prolong the life of your pet, and you don't want to face.
Oh, they have you by the jugular. I mean, look,
and
with
they
a
said-
human being, you're thinking, do I really want to go through all of this? Look what happened with Dwayne Lucas. He just kind of says, hey, listen, by the time I go through all this, it isn't even worth it to live like another 6 weeks. So let me just go ahead and throw the towel in now. With a pet, I mean, they know the dog is doomed, and they still want to do it like a $20,000.
They can't
surgery.
express their own wishes, and of course, the inclination as an owner and family member responsible for them is like you'll pay any price. And when Sydney, the cat that we had this like tumor, and they said, well, we think we can operate, and then it'll hopefully maybe he'll be saved, and And I was like, how much? $1,700. Okay, we'll do it. And then it bought him 4 weeks.
12 grand,
It's kind of like,
it's always
kind of like
12 grand later, you're
It's
going
always
to,
a thousand.
you think it's going to be a long-term fix, and
It's
next
not
thing you
gonna
know,
be.
it's like the Iranian nuclear bombing. All you
100%.
got is 3 months out of the whole
This
deal.
is really a sign, though. I mean, this is a food show. I mean, that good nutrition can make a big difference. I mean, with a small animal where a lot of things can go wrong. This dog's 17 years old, still fine. So I'm heading down there, but I'm going to try and squeeze in a walk of life. It looks like it's clearing up.
It is clearing.
And then I have to face the denigration of losing 6-1, 6-love to my son in tennis.
Oh, you're going to have a father-son match.
It'll be in Boca Raton.
No
yeah.
mercy. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well,
but
the kid, unfortunately for me, he can still move, whereas my usual opponent, Dr. Jerry, is somewhat sedentary. And the fact that he shows up with crutches and a wheelchair, it's usually an indication that I have a good chance for a win.
does it make yourself feel better when you just lob in those drop shots and he has no shot of getting it?
I was talking with Jay Berger. I don't know if you remember Jay Berger earlier today on a show.
Long time tennis player.
This was a guy who ascended to number 7 in the world. And I didn't realize this. I mean, think about this. This is a guy, how many people can make this claim? He beat Stefan Edberg. He beat Boris Becker. He beat Jimmy Connors in a match. He beat, I mentioned Becker. He beat, Sampras. He has wins over the greats of the game.
Yep.
And, I mean, we were talking about throwing in the drop shot. And he said, that's unmerciful. How could you possibly do this to
He's
a
like, "That's
74-year-old guy?
And you know what you do? You just tell him, hey, it's time for pickleball.
Exactly.
Well, and he talked about the transition, one of your favorite subjects here. And he says pickleball is going wild, and he's a big embracer of it. But he also felt the same way as I did, which is that you're kind of capitulating to the idea that, the party's over.
Yeah. So, speaking of, Meals for Dogs is the place where you go. It seemed like
you could actually get a table for 2 there, Mayo, and not feel badly about it.
It seems like some people on the Let's Eat group go review places that could be renamed Meals for Dogs. And it seems like on the show yesterday, we had some meals fit for dogs that you don't even like that much.
I
those
give that to my
pizzas.
dog.
And I don't know what I'm thinking. One of the things with pizza is like, how does it taste the next day? How does it taste cold? How does it taste reheated? So I went back to the well, not to the Papa John's, just the thick stuffed crust mess, because that was just total garbage.
Okay.
But that the Domino's New York style pizza that I which looked reasonably, like maybe it would be okay, but it didn't taste all that great, especially when it got colder. But this morning I took one bite of cold, and it had cardboard with essence of ketchup and just bad cheese. I threw it in the toaster oven to have it with my morning coffee. And when it gets hot and the cheese gets all melty, like I took a couple of bites, and then after a while I was like, what am I doing? This is just not good. And again,
I'm out of touch with pizza prices, though, I think.
Oh, no, they're insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm thinking a $20 pie is an expensive pizza. Now, I did come in here, and I mentioned to Brian, the last time I bought a whole pizza, I was going to a party nearby here, and it was kind of on my way. And I was, it's one of those parties where you bring something, everybody brings something. So I brought a couple of pizzas here from Wicked Cheesesteaks, and a huge hit.
Yeah.
And as I recall, it was like $18 for the pie, which is reasonable.
Reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not used to paying $20
I know,
for a
it's
pizza pie.
weird.
Well, welcome
Really
to the
weird.
2020s,
Wow.
and welcome
it's
to
really
post-COVID, because at the it was shocking to me to go into a chain, and again, I don't download the app, and I didn't do any deals or coupons, but to get a basic 2-topping large pie with the fancy epic garlic stuffed crust.
Now, what do you think about the
and I
stuffed
picked it
crust
up myself.
concept?
$28, Lee. I mean, I get cheaper pizzas at Reno's, at
yeah.
Heritage,
Yeah,
and that's a Bib Gourmand rated restaurant. I mean,
Well, it's a different style, but I mean, in general, and we know why these places are successful because they're reasonable or
It's just
whatever.
easy,
Usually,
yeah.
so
Well, these
get the
weren't.
when you're
deals, you
paying
get the deals.
$28,
this
but
was.
but what about the stuffed
pickup.
crusting? What do you think about that,
Sucked.
Mike Mayo?
It's like
No, in
He said
general.
it
I mean, whether it was there or somewhere else, would you be a fan of it? Because I'm not.
They can stuff it all right.
They
I-
can stuff
Stuff
it.
it where the sun don't shine.
Stuff it.
and one of these this rapidly expanding chain that's gotten some venture capital equity called Mr. O1 Extraordinary Pizza. Now, it started off, a guy came from Italy, and Mr. O1 refers to the special visa that you get. If you have extraordinary talent and ability, they'll issue you one of these visas. This pizzaiola guy from Italy came into South Beach in a little office building, and Carlos Frias was kind of the ones who kind of put him on the map and discovered him, the former Herald food writer, James Beard Award winning 2 times.
2 times.
But he loved this guy's pizza, called it Mr. O1 Extraordinary Pizza, and at that original location, it was really good. Now it's expanded. It's in like 27 places all over South Florida. Now, their signature pie is called the Lucali, where it's kind of a thin, crispy pizza, but they fold over the edges and the crust. It's like, it looks like a 6-pointed star, not a Jewish star, but it's like, and they stuff those points with ricotta cheese, and it's okay. I don't love it, but the replication in all these different locations, I've had some okay pizzas there. They don't have all the ones with the stuffed crust. They have some traditional ones, but in my estimation, I would call it Mr. O1 mediocre pizza, not extraordinary, but but
I did see on the pizza front a couple of reviews of local pizzerias by your man Portnoy, who went back to, I believe, Beats in Boca Raton, and
that's Delray. Yeah, it's in
Delray.
Yep.
He originally had not been so
No.
favorable. Oh, that was Pepe's.
You got to
he
confuse.
went
It was
back to.
Pepe's. He went
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
to.
he liked.
He
the
loved
beats.
the Beats the first time he went there.
Yeah.
He gave it a very high rating, and he said it was like the best New Haven style pizza he's had outside New Haven. Pepe's he went to in Plantation,
And I think Pepe confronted him himself or whatever, if the original Pepe's still around. But and he gave it a much improved type of review.
He went
He
back.
said it got a lot better.
he went
And
back.
he's been in some places in Miami. I don't know if it was the 01 place, but he's lately been circulating around here with the pizza reviews, and seems like they've been pretty favorable.
Well, he has a place in Miami. He used to, at one point, had a spot he was renting in Fort Lauderdale, which is when he checked out our friend Wade at Pizza Spot, and I don't think he gave him a totally fair review, but he did.
He was
liked
giving
it.
out lower scores
Yeah,
back
yeah,
then,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
I mean, it used to be like an
And-
8 something was a
And
big
Mr.
score.
One Bite, he chowed down an entire
The whole
slice
slice,
away.
yeah,
Well, we know
exactly.
that.
And,
That's
and
the
he
joke.
said the sauce was great, but he didn't like
It
because
didn't
it
have the
flopped.
flop.
It flopped.
But he
Yeah.
got one of the slices that had like 18 toppings.
Right,
Like
No, he had. I think he had a cheese. But the thing is, it sits in the box and it gets the condensation. And look,
I don't
if you wanted a non-flop pizza at Pizza Spot, Wade would do it for you. But but he's been around, and he, Portnoy
A
goes
lot of
between.
favorable reviews.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's some
Okay, so I saw
decent
something
pizza
pop up the
here.
other day where he got thrown out somewhere. Was that down here?
I
He was
have
like
no
pissed.
idea.
He was pissed off because someone wasn't letting him in. I'm like, who would be that dumb? Like that would just be, even if you're jammed, you find a way to get him in there. Like as much as he can be sort of a weirdo with this flop, not flop. I know when we had the Pepe's people on, he was like weird about it can't flop, the carriage, the undercarriage, and I appreciate all that. I don't know. As a New York style guy, I've never worried about flop or not. Like to me, it can be too crispy actually. Like I don't mind if it bends a little. Like I don't really think about all that.
A
Like,
traditional New York slice that you fold over, it's supposed to
That's my
droop a little
favorite
at the
pizza.
tip.
Taste will be the key. for me.
yeah,
Taste.
exactly. Like
You
what
got
are
a
we
droopy tip. That's a
That's a
New
whole
York
different story.
It's a New York
Who
pizza.
holds a pizza up like this
I've
anyway
never
before you
done
eat it? I've never done that in my life.
Never.
You fold it. If you don't
You
want
just-
flop, you fold it. And then
Yeah,
it's
or
like
you just Don't fold, whatever.
And that's the other thing that he does.
I
I
want
mean,
grease
look,
dripping off my chin.
I respect the guy.
Mhm.
He's got a huge following. He's very entertaining when he does his pizza reviews.
Well, he does the whole thing.
But he cheats because for places that he's tend to be favorable towards, he'll fold it a little bit so
Yes.
the flop doesn't flop. If you hold it out like this, gravity is gonna, it's like
Yes.
so.
You're taking this too seriously.
I just think it's funny.
It's just fun.
Yes, I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
take
yeah.
food
You take it
seriously.
very
It's
seriously.
gotten me to this point, which is becoming a major
Going
food
pretty
star, right?
There you
I
go.
don't know. Meanwhile,
We're across from some food
Yeah,
critics
yeah, we got-
themselves.
well, we got a
we
whole
should have
bunch.
to maybe invite these guys
I don't know
on,
if they're influencers. She says her name is Kate Hannon. I'm gonna do a
She
little
said it
Google
like
search.
it's like
Yeah,
really
like-
famous, which
like-
I
like-
wouldn't doubt it. Maybe it's on TikTok. I'll
Yeah,
look.
you know,
should
in the
know,
break, I'll look
Mayo.
on
You
TikTok for
should
Kate
know.
Hannon.
TikTok, it boggles my mind.
know
I'm
it
still not
bothers you,
on
but-
it. I still think all the numbers there are inflated and unreal. I just think Chinese have loaded it up with bots, so everybody thinks that they're more popular and famous than they are, and then they end up getting, it because you see things. For example, this new Eataly that opened up down at the Aventura Mall.
Now,
Are
wasn't
you
that
familiar with that?
Mario Batali guy?
I
Didn't
think
he have the original one in New York?
I
and
think
then
he was up-
went into disgrace or something.
So I was actually researching the history of Eataly. It was actually founded by a entrepreneur in Italy, and I think the first Eataly was in either Milan or somewhere in northern Italy, and then one came to New York, and
Wasn't
Mario
that Batali? That was
Mario
him, yeah.
Batali
Yeah.
partnered on it with the originator of Eataly. But now there's like 30 of them around the world. The
All right.
latest one opened a few weeks ago in Aventura, and next thing you know, I mean, all these influencers. I
Brian's
was
gonna watch that stack.
I was,
of
well,
dishes he
it's a
put up
leaning
there.
tower
Oh, my God.
of food, but that's for his paying customers, which is good.
Yeah.
But Eataly, apparently, it's a 30,000 square foot complex that has 2 restaurants and all these little food counters, cafes, the place where you buy your fresh made cheese and the cured meats. But I was looking to see some of the news coverage, and there was some of these influencers I found on when I did a search. And this one influencer, TikTok, it had 1.2 million views. But the same influencer on Instagram, it was only like 100,000 views. So
No, but
It's all
her
very,
audience is on
bizarre,
TikTok, so
yeah.
that's
Lubie and I had shows that did 300,000 views, and then the next day it would have 7. So
it's a very capricious thing.
It's a tough thing to judge. But these guys seem to be impressed with what they have received here from Brian, which is
Northern
good.
New Yorkers.
Yeah,
Yeah, from the Buffalo
and the babies are
area.
even happy.
These are very, very quiet, well-behaved
Happy
children.
kids.
Yeah.
Hopefully, my future progeny is anything close to this. Shirley and I'll be very happy. These kids are like the best
I'm
behaved
going to
kids
say this.
ever.
These parents are doing a terrific
They're doing a
job.
fantastic job.
And not only are they the quietest,
and
most
they're not looking at anything. There's
well-behaved-
no screens at all.
That's what I was going to say. Usually the kids get distracted and hypnotized by having a
Yeah.
gadget,
Yeah.
an iPad.
One kid looks a little afraid of what he's got.
Well, I think one kid is looking at us, and he's very afraid.
The other one has
but-
a chocolate
No,
pretzel they
it's-
picked up. So,
But they're very well behaved children.
Extremely
Very good.
well-behaved.
It's great.
Yeah.
So,
it's impressive.
and no, there's no screaming, and
They're
again,
quiet.
they're not being pacified with all these gadgets.
Nope.
So that's a good
Yeah, it's
thing.
amazing.
Of course, I spoke too soon. Now we're gonna get screaming.
No,
babies
they're
in a second.
behaving
That's
very
good.
well.
And
They look like
I don't
they're
know. We're
enjoying
gonna
it.
have to get a review. It looks like they're getting some of the
They have the
You
egg
gotta
rolls.
find out
the
who
stuffed
this,
egg
who this
rolls.
woman is.
It
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
there's all kinds of stuff going on. And Wicked Cheesesteaks, Brian and his wife Sonata, they do a terrific job here of whether it's the Philly style cheesesteaks and chicken Phillies, the New England Maine
The
lobster
lobster.
rolls, and now I call it the Northeastern style roast beef sandwiches. Are you familiar with them at all? We talked about it briefly yesterday.
And I grew up as a kid. The first time I had a roast beef sandwich, naturally in New York. I'm trying to think. It was probably like on a Kaiser roll. It was an epiphany. I couldn't believe how great this stuff was. And then I liked roast beef on an onion roll. I didn't like a lot of stuff on it. I kind of liked it sort of as is.
plain au jus, just with
Yeah,
a little
yeah. I didn't
dip.
want ketchup, but kind of turned me off. The idea of putting ketchup on there, a little bit of mayonnaise was good in the, after a while. But yeah, huge roast beef sandwich fan. And actually, I was a big fan of the original Arby's roast beef sandwich when it came out, even though the roast beef itself was a little bit strange.
It's always
but,
well done.
and then for some reason, the rolls got stale there.
Yes.
And that kind of turned me off. And I was not a big Arby's fan after that. And I don't know what they're doing now because they got the meats. It's amazing they're still in business when they never have anybody to drive through.
Customers.
But
At least somebody's going.
but yeah, good roast beef sandwich. Come on, man.
I
That's
like
What,
the
it.
what
best.
about you, Lubie? Do you
My
have any
dad always
experience
does.
with it down here? It wasn't as big a thing as
Yeah,
New York or Boston.
I never, when you're like the roast beef sandwich, I'm like, I don't know what that means. My dad always had roast beef in the house, and we've always been big into roast beef. I've always liked Arby's as much as we make fun of it because whenever there's 3 people there, we're like, oh my God, they must be going insane. There's 3 people there. We grew up going to Arby's. I've always liked Arby's. This sandwich that Brian described, I've never heard of that.
Okay,
So
well,
I'm
I'm
looking
gonna
forward to
give
it.
you a little bit of a backstory history to. There's 2 distinct styles. I call it Northeastern because, like, there's a New York
Here he
style
goes.
roast
You got
beef
a couple
sandwich. And here we
coming
go.
there.
We got
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got Brian coming
Oh,
in.
wow.
Okay, so
Okay.
this looks
got-
like a take on the Arby's sandwich.
Yes.
You've gotten slammed. Okay, you want to come on and explain, or you're
He's a
buried?
busy
He's
man.
buried. It's Wednesday, and he's gotten slammed. All right.
This is the one he
So-
was talking about, the barbecue one.
Okay, we've got
The
this is
three-way.
called the 3-way, and he right. I'm going to explain to the audience. This is a 3-way. It's an onion roll,
So it looks like a
roll,
take on an Arby's
and
sandwich, though,
it's
like,
Yeah.
with
or the
barbecue
vice
sauce,
versa.
white American cheese, and the mayonnaise glopped on top. That looks a little Goyish to me.
I love that. That was
Brian-
your response to Brian.
Brian is
That's a little
Brian is
Gentile.
a member of the tribe.
He's
He's
Jewish,
fellow
I know.
Jew. I've never seen so much mayonnaise on a meat sandwich from a Jew, but it's all right. He's good. He's got to go. 1 second. Brian, of course, is on the sideline here, but he's got the headset. How are you, sir? And
I'm a New England Jew. So
Oh, right, okay.
we
It's a
get the
different
pass.
kind of.
So take that, you pick that bad boy up, and you just do the Mike Mayo
oh God, with the mayonnaise.
with the mayonnaise and everything.
This is more of Defo style with the au jus,
Yeah.
and this is the kind
He's
I'm
a
familiar
high-end
with
Jewish
from New York.
Yeah.
2 places, Roland Roaster and Brennan and Carr, both in Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay, had this kind of style sandwich where they would actually dip it in a huge vat of au jus.
Nice.
This kind, I
This
would
is
see in New England, Kelly's roast beef, Buzzy's roast beef.
It's a little bit better quality than like Kelly's. This is what
Yeah.
we eat like crazy.
But man, you went a little
Look at the
nuts on the
sandwich.
mayo. Is that in honor of Mike
Well,
Mayo?
No, it's supposed to be gooey.
It's supposed to be gooey.
Well,
That's an interesting terminology.
this-
Yeah, we're watching.
I'm glad that the mustache is gone because that mayo,
It
I
would
would be
absorb-
wearing that
It
all
would absorb
day.
the whole thing.
Here we go. Big bite with the 3. You call it the 3-way.
It's the 3-way. We're talking about a sandwich.
Okay. And
Yeah, the sandwich.
the roast beef looks spectacular. by the way.
And I like that it's nice and rare, which is great.
And my buddy Greg helps me with
Look
the
at
roast
that.
beef.
Look at your face. Oh my God.
Grab-
grab-
move paper towel. Well,
It's crazy messy, but crazy. This is the river barbecue
Okay.
sauce.
like I just changed Ruby's baby's diaper.
Exactly.
What did you do to me, Brian?
This is
All
a
right.
New England staple.
Interesting.
It's no wonder why I'm from Brooklyn. I gravitate towards the Brooklyn style, which is just the simple au jus. Of course, we got some people from Buffalo here. Thank you. Kate, Buffalo, they are famous for the beef on weck.
Yeah.
Do you do that style too?
We
with
could
the-
do it, but the seeds tend to fall off.
That's the
tried
Kemelec
at the-
bun with-
we try that at the bakery all the time to make those buns, and it
What kind of seeds on it? It's a
the salt, like the
yeah, it's like
the
a
hard salt.
yeah, salt and caraway seeds.
Yep.
The 2 of them.
And then they go stale really fast.
You know who
you get-
makes one because they're from Buffalo is the people at Three Sons Brewing in Dania Beach. They do a beef on weck. That's pretty good. Now I'm gonna say this: I would order this again.
without the
Less
mayo.
Without the
Yeah, without the
Okay.
mayonnaise.
The
yeah.
mayonnaise.
I feel like the mayonnaise. Is
I
not
hate to
needed.
be a self-hating condiment, Brian.
but the
Yeah,
but,
yeah, sure.
I mean, the mayo is
A little bit of mayonnaise I can see,
but-
but you don't need.
But the New England people, they go
They
crazy.
love it. They go crazy over. the
What kind of
mayonnaise.
mayo is
It's
it?
a heavy duty, just Hellman's.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
a Hellman's. Okay, because some people down in the south.
So try
like
this
Dukes.
one right here. Give it this one a
Well,
shot.
Well, I don't want.
Yeah,
I don't
love
want
your
to.
hand.
I get a fly.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you go. He's selling these now. How much do they go for? It's
Okay.
Okay,
Nice.
$12.50
That's a lot
for
of
the
roast beef.
basic with the au jus.
Oh,
$14.50.
Thursdays they're doing a buy one get one of them.
You got BOGOs on Thursdays
Thursday.
for the. This is now your headquarters for roast beef because a couple other places have
Yeah, they
gone
closed,
out
yeah.
of business. Our friend Dave at Top Round is no longer there. Boston Beef, where Joey's cousin was a part
Esposito,
owner.
yep.
Joey Esposito's cousin. I don't know if Joey had any interest in it, but look at this. This is succulent. Fall
No,
off.
the roast beef is fantastic. Like it's nice and rare.
Yeah,
which
it
is
looks great. It really
Yeah,
does.
it's nice and rare.
We're gonna get a
We'll
knife.
cut
Let's
it in
take our
half here.
first break,
Let's do it.
and then Defo and you can try the Arjou roast
Yeah, it
beef.
looks good.
It's a little too much mayo there. I would.
That's
have
a
to
lot
say,
of mayonnaise.
That's
What
a
I
lot
would
of
do is
mayonnaise,
wipe it
yeah.
off.
I think he
honestly.
did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Although he says some people like it with this
I
much
mean,
mayo.
I'm a mayo fan actually.
Well,
compared to most
actually,
people, but
kind of
that's a
just
lot.
sort of slid to one side. So
It's
not
funny
really
because
bad,
roast
yeah.
beef never ketchup for me. You know, like when you were saying when
I
you
always
just,
Ketchup on
like
roast
ketchup.
beef is a disgrace.
See, I always like
It's like
ketchup.
ketchup on a hot dog.
I would
I always like
sometimes
ketchup.
put some deli mustard on a roast beef
roast beef?
sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also
I
like
do like a Thousand Island.
What
A
I
little bit
like-
of mayonnaise can be good.
I like ketchup mayonnaise is what I like on a roast beef.
a mayonnaise
Like a
variant
Thousand
is I would
Island.
get the creamy horsey sauce, which they had at Top Round, where it's kind of a mayonnaise based with some horseradish in it, and that's
This
good.
looks great, though. I mean,
All
as
right.
a roast beef sandwich goes, and then think
You wanna
about
do
this
a big
on the
bite?
BOGO. No, I don't want to do that.
We'll
But
cut it.
as a BOGO, I mean, think about that. If you're getting a sandwich like that for $7 a pop,
Oh yeah,
That's
on
Oh,
Thursdays.
ridiculous.
no, that for
Yeah,
that's
that-
what
that's
an
like-
Arby's sandwich is $7, and it's
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
And this
the
is
size
so
of it.
much better
And
quality.
it's real roast beef.
He's
though.
done a
No,
really
it's
nice
real.
Yeah.
job roasting the
When it's
beef.
cooked
It's not
perfect.
that pressed
Look
stuff.
how
and
pink
everything.
to
Yeah.
red it
looks
is.
good.
Like that's amazing.
Looks great.
All
Looks
right,
great.
a beautiful
let's
sandwich.
take the first break, and then we will come back. First, a quick word about Casa D'Angelo, presenting sponsor today. I was in there in the Fort Lauderdale flagship on Saturday, had a terrific meal for a belated birthday week
Nice.
dinner, and a veal chop with the black truffles. He's got the new summer black truffles in from Italy. They got wine dinners coming up. You go onto their website, casa-d-angelo.com, or just type in casadangelo.com, and it'll probably come up. And you can check out all the upcoming events, all kinds of wine dinners, and other great things that they have going on all summer long. 3 locations: Boca Raton with Chef Ricky, and then Aventura, where we just did a show last week. And, of course, the Fort Lauderdale flagship right there at 1201 North Federal Highway. For any occasion or a special occasion, go into Casa D'Angelo and tell him Mike Mayo and his mayonnaise-laden face sent you. All right, we'll be back with more from Wicked Cheesesteaks and roast beef after these words.
Hey, Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton, it's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boys Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boys has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat Boys with a Z, as in amazing. We're back on the lunchbox. You caught me with my fingers all schmutzy because I am digging into this roast beef sandwich. I was trying to pull apart some of the mayo. He went very heavy on the mayo, but that 3-way, I would do it as a 2-way with, well, I would call it 3 because it's roast beef and then the cheese and then the barbecue sauce. What do you think of the classic au jus style? Sorry, I got a little Howard Stern in there.
Delicious. Absolutely perfectly prepared. The roast beef melts in your mouth, which is the way that it should be, although it's warm. So, kind of, a little bit of an adjustment from the usual cold roast beef sandwich, and really, really well done by Brian. Unbelievable.
And this is part.
I mean, if you're getting 2 of those for $14, you are getting a hell of a deal. And
That's
if
on Thursdays.
If you're paying $14 for it, if you went to Katz's Deli, you got the same thing. It'd be $30. So, great quality beef also that he uses here.
And it's it's a process where you got to roast these big top rounds, and then you get them just to the point of they should be rare, and then you slice
nice
them
and rare, yep.
and you slice them thin, and then it's kind of it's not like full slices like you get at the Publix Deli of a cold cut. It's kind of a little bit
really
more
well
crumbly
really
and shreddy.
Yeah.
Now it's funny that you mentioned that. That is the difference between what I call the Northeastern roast beef sandwich and what you think of as just a regular, when you get a roast beef on white bread or wheat bread.
Yeah.
This is warm. And the New York style in Brooklyn, there was 2 places that I mentioned. Rollin' Roaster, which was for the late night drunks, and they had this commercial. You don't remember the commercial, the jingle, We're not so fast, Rollin' Roaster?
No.
Google, if you go online and Google the Rollin' Roaster commercial, it is the cheesiest commercial, not just the roast beef, but it's we're not so fast, Rollin' Roaster, we're not so fast, Rollin' Roaster, making it fast is not the proper way, or we give you bigger burger. I don't know. It's
the whole
the jingle was ingrained because it played on the radio all the time. But I was a Brennan and Carr fan. Now, Brennan and Carr is a place that's been on, I believe it was Nostrand Avenue and Avenue R since like 1930. Jeez. And they had this big trough of au jus. And when you order a roast beef sandwich at Brennan and Carr, they would ask if you want a single dip, a double dip, or a no dip. And the thing is, they assemble a sandwich like this with the hot roast beef.
Okay.
And then they have these tongs. And if you ask for
a
single dip, they'll dip the top part of the sandwich in the au jus.
Interesting.
And, the bun and everything. If it's a double dip, they'll do the whole thing. So all you get is like this soggy bun, but it's just like, this vat is just sitting there percolating all
Todd
day.
Cruzato said they still have the same stupid ass commercial.
Oh, for Rollin' Roaster? Oh, wow. And they still have the same vat at Brennan and Carr. Sure. I don't think they've changed the au jus. It's just like that never-ending supply of the balsamic vinegar that's been in the same bottle that they replenish. It's been sitting there for 300 years. I think that au jus, they kind of add to it, but they've never actually cleaned it out. My parents love the place. I love Brennan and Carr. I'm on team Brennan and Carr.
Nice.
Boston, I became familiar with the Boston style roast beef, and I know I've gone into a whole soliloquy.
It's like a whole thing, yeah.
But this is why I love food, because you get these regional differences.
Yeah.
In Boston, there were two famous places. Kelly's Roast Beef was up along Revere on the beach, and very popular in the summertime. And now there's several Kelly's Roast Beef around the New England area. But it was just a stand, and you go up and you get your sandwich, and you could get it plain, or you could get it like this three-way style. Buzzy's Roast Beef was down on the Charles River, right across from Mass General Hospital. And it was also a great place to go late night drunk. And, after you go to the clubs and the bars in Boston, Buzzy's would be open till 2 a.m. The bars in Boston at the time I was there, all the bars closed at 1.
Oh, wow.
You'd go up to Buzzy's, buzzed, and you'd ask for your roast beef sandwich. And then the thing was, you'd ask for, can I just get a cup of water? And they'd look at you and say, the Charles is over there. So basically they wanted you to just get your water out of the Charles or pay for your drink. Those are my roast beef memories, and I know it's thrilling and scintillating.
No, but they're doing a good job here.
And
So I see why it's such a big deal here.
and of course we had Top Round, and I really liked that place. And
Yeah, it was
it's
good.
just
Top Round was really
COVID killed it because he was in a downtown location. He was banking on all the office crowd and catering for the office buildings around there. And then when COVID came along, it just totally
Yeah,
upended
hammered
his business plan. And the rent down there is not cheap. So if you want that classic Northeastern sandwich, roast beef sandwich,
Here
hot,
is it. Here it
warm,
is.
and two different styles, now Wicked Cheesesteaks
Yep.
and roast beef is the place to come. So,
Yes.
all right. Do we have any sports on the agenda today? I don't think so.
I mean,
We've
the
really
draft.
hit the lull,
The
and I
NBA draft is
couldn't
today.
give two
A lot of Heat fans are
shekels.
into the draft.
That
I
was
used to care about the NBA draft a lot more. It used to be a big deal. We were talking about it this morning with Tony Segreto, how the NFL draft has become more and more of a spectacle, and the MLB and the NHL draft have never mattered, but the NBA draft used to be a big deal, and it's sort of just fallen by the wayside. It's very interesting how there's no buzz at all. It's on a Wednesday in the middle of the week. Like, I don't know anyone, even my friends that are big NBA fans, haven't talked about it at all.
and the less said, the better. And then Jim Sarney has been texting his mind out, and I'm ignoring it because he's giving me this crap about Caitlin Clark and a shooting slump, and here's 20 events.
Well, we were
between
mocking. We were
now-
talking crap about her this morning. That's
Okay.
Because her shooting percentage is like if you were like a bench player.
I
Like,
don't
her shooting
care.
percentage is horrendous.
I have mild interest in this Club World Cup going on now, right? Because didn't Inter Miami and Messi advance to the knockout round
Yes,
now?
and they're going to be playing Paris Saint-Germain, one of the best teams in the world.
And it's Messi's former team, correct?
Yeah, he did play for them before he came here. Yep,
So there is a kind of a revenge angle.
100%.
I would imagine that Paris Saint-Germain is a heavy favorite. I know you are a huge soccer fan, Defo. Are you just salivating about the prospect of this game?
I don't get it. There's so many tournaments. What is this one? What does it mean? I don't know.
I guess somebody had the bright idea because
It is.
typically the World Cup features national teams,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
get
yeah.
the best players that were born in that country
Mhm.
or emigrated and have citizenship in
Yep.
that country. So that's why you would have, Messi playing for Argentina
Yes.
and so on and so forth.
Cristiano Ronaldo
But
for Portugal.
this is now the actual clubs
yes.
like Barcelona
Mhm.
or Paris Saint-Germain, and I don't even know who's here from the
Yeah,
Premier
Bill-
League, like Manchester City,
I
I
don't-
think is here.
Man
Is
City,
Arsenal?
yeah.
Arsenal's not here, but
No, they're not all here.
they've selected certain teams that are willing to participate. I guess there had to be some money greased on the table. And but yeah, I mean, it's basically putting all these club teams together in a tournament. Does it mean much? No.
I don't know.
But if somehow Inter Miami was able to shock the world and get through to like the
It'd be
final,
cool.
you can make some money because I think they went in at like 66.
It was
to
60
1.
to 1 or something like that. Yeah.
But we'll see what happens there.
I don't know.
And then to me, the most important thing that's going on is not being covered or discussed except online. Like you pick up the Sun Sentinel, they have a full front page of all sports except hockey. And what we want to know about the Panthers now is, are they
On
going to
the
be able to
signings.
keep everybody? And the free agency period in hockey, as I understand, it's very brief because they don't like to elongate it and have it being discussed all summer long like the NBA.
Yeah.
Which they seem to just relish being, screamed about by Stephen A. Smith on ESPN about who should do that. And can you believe they did this? Here, hockey,
No, they
from,
get in and out.
I guess July 1st is unrestricted free agency. And now you have this window where people like Sam Bennett,
Re-signing guys. Yeah.
you're trying to sign them while you'll have this exclusive period to sign them. And you could do 8 years if you lock them up during the exclusive period. But if you wait till free agency on July 1st, then they can't get the 8th year. They can only get 7 years. You see how much I've learned just by reading in the last 2 days
Oh
about
Jesus, I didn't know any
the
of this.
economics of
Oh yeah,
hockey.
the staying with the team you can get 8. It's like the NBA
Basketball,
thing.
yeah.
The NBA thing.
And apparently the free agency period in hockey is only 10 days. It's like July 1st through
That's
the
the
10th.
whole thing.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
That's
So they get it over with, and then they all go fishing and drink beer,
Yeah, exactly.
which is a very Canadian NHL thing to do. And
Pretty
I
much.
can't knock that
Nah.
because in July, who wants to be,
Yeah, good for them.
you know, and good for the writers like Marty Klinkenberg. They actually get to enjoy
like
a
a
little bit of
break,
a
yeah.
time off and a break. And
Nice.
so anyway, we'll follow the hockey signings. But you know, you wish there's a way to keep all the big three in terms of Brad Marchand,
Sam
Bennett, and Aaron
Aaron
Ekblad. And can't they just get rid of some other guys and then
The
cut the cap space
The
that
idea
way?
is supposedly that's what they're working on. Is Bennett and Marchand are all but done. They just haven't been able to. They haven't announced anything. And Ekblad, the thing for Ekblad is he sort of wants to test free agency, but he wants to stay in the Panthers want him. So, what I've seen is that they're being really smart about trying to just keep him happy. So I think they keep all three. I
think if it was
that's
up-
what they're really working to do.
If it was up to you, you would just cut Bobrovsky, right? You can't save them $8
I
million
know
that way.
what he's worth. He just annoys me. I admit look, when I see all these other teams freaking about their goalie, I know that he's
valuable.
better than them.
And I guess
He
you
just
know
annoys me.
the unfortunate part is you're going to lose some play, just like they did
Yeah,
last year.
last
They
year.
lost Mansour.
They lost
good
Montour
defenseman.
and
and
Larson, which were two of the better defensemen. You forget that because they replaced them with Schmidt, who ended up being a huge part of this team. And you had guys like the offensive guys like Barkov
Schmidt
and
happens.
Marchand and Kachuk pick up a lot of the slack on the defensive end.
and,
as well,
and I
so-
don't know what Lusa Tarnin's thing is. I like the way he
Losarinen, yeah,
plays,
Losarinen.
whatever his name is. I just make
He's
up
not going
names.
anywhere.
Well, but he can't. I mean, if you need to cut space or trade people, can they do that?
Look, if there's anyone I trust right now, it's Bill Zito.
Okay.
So I think the Panthers will be okay. Pat Riley, people are questioning a little bit, and I actually agree with them. I almost think it's sort of time for Pat Riley to just like cede to the people he's trained and know what they're doing. Bill Zito's not one that I don't know if anyone in South Florida is going to question at this point.
All right. Hey, it's time for break number 2 here
Yes.
at Wicked Cheesesteaks. Again, man, the offerings here are plentiful: chicken wings and all kinds of goodies, and the pizza. Don't sleep on the pizza.
lobster
I agree.
roll.
He makes a good.
Great pizza.
It's not thin and crispy. It's got that little bit of a poofy crust, but it comes out really good. He
really
uses the good grande cheese.
Yep.
And before we take the break, I also got to talk about the upcoming event that we're going to be part of co-hosting along with our friends at Even Keel Fish Shack. And of course, that's called Pearl Jam by the Sea. It's going to be taking place August 9th. And there's 2 varieties of tickets. There's the VIP that gets you in a little bit earlier. It gets you a covered seat at the bar or the indoor tables. And it also gets you some extra goodies past shared plates coming straight from the kitchen. Might be some of those grilled oysters, some of those scallops.
Nice.
I don't know what the boys got in mind for the VIP. And there's only a handful of VIP seats left. Those are now on sale at eventbrite.com, along with the general admission, which gets you in a little bit later, but you get run of the house in terms of all you can eat fresh raw oysters on the half shell. And you've got all you can drink sparkling bubbly wines with the Bellini bar, different mixers. And this year, a new wrinkle, some paella, which will be a welcome addition because people wanted a little bit more food involved. So we're doing that. And the general admission tickets also available. You just go online to oysterpearljam.eventbrite.com.
Yep.
And the general admission seats, $75 typically. But if you use the promo code Lunchbox, again, a Lunchbox in your promo code box before you check out, you'll get a $10 discount on each ticket. So it'll knock it down to about the $65 range plus your fees. Go online now. It's going to be a great time. Love doing that event. And you can wear your bathing suit and your flip-flops because it's very casual there. And you can just run on down to the beach and take a splash, come back, have some more oysters.
Yeah, back and forth. It's great.
It'll be good stuff. All right, let's come back after these words to Wicked Cheesesteaks on the Lunchbox. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa de Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years. Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. All right, we're back at Wicked Cheesesteaks. I'm going to rename the place to Wicked Cheesesteaks, Roast Beefs, and Lobster Rolls. That is a fine addition to the menu. I applaud Brian because, you know, one of the things I love about people in the business, Defo, is they never rest on their laurels. They always like want to create more and add something and, you know, find the newest wrinkle, follow the latest craze. And I think you got a winner here, right?
Very refreshing. I mean, you're thinking of a roast beef sandwich and you think it's going to be real heavy. You're going to walk out of here feeling like you swallowed a bowling ball. And a lot of people like it that way when they get like 8 pounds of roast beef on a sandwich and pay a ton of money for it. But this was very light and refreshing for a summertime type of meal. You wouldn't normally think that you would walk out of here feeling like, hey, I could eat more, but I really don't want to. So
and
really satisfying.
And now, yeah, when people come in and try it, and there've been a lot of positive reviews so far on the Let's Eat South Florida group about the new roast beef, which I guess he put on the menu about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But you see why it is so popular in these northeastern, particularly around the beach communities.
You can eat it with one hand. A lot of that too. People want that.
And I don't mean to, be a heretic or anything like that, because I know people out there love cheesesteaks. They get into fights and they have all these different. I'm not the biggest cheesesteak fan. Okay, food is subjective, people, and I know that this is Wicked Cheesesteaks. Brian does a very nice job, but I will take one of these roast beef sandwiches over a cheesesteak every day and Sunday, because I like this. You can still taste the meat, and you can see. I love not raw meat. I like rare meat. I like when you can see, red.
Pink, red. Yep.
And with a cheesesteak, all you're doing is you put it on a flat top. You're getting this beautiful prime.
The crap out of it.
It's ribeye. It's like ribeye
really
steak,
meat,
which is a beautiful, nice fatty meat,
cut,
which usually I throw on a grill and a nice thick steak, and you cook it to, medium rare to medium. There, you like chopping it up. You're cooking the bejesus out of it, so it's like beyond medium well, and then you're covering it up with the cheese and the onions. And
I think that's your issue with it, is you're more of a purist when it comes to, like, you ate the big sandwich, but you and Diva both seem to like the one that was simple with a little bit of au jus.
Yes,
like,
simplicity.
That's more your thing. I grew up a condiment person, so I don't mind. Look, I literally added this to the sandwich.
By the way, what you did here was completely disgusting. I mean, I know Brian gave me the Mayo treatment because that's a New England way.
He didn't do it, yeah.
But you requested
Cheese Whiz and ketchup.
Cheese Whiz and a bottle of Heinz, which squirted out everywhere. It was a condiment massacre here.
So for me, who likes stuff on the meat, I can see it both ways. I do like a nice rare piece of meat,
does not,
but I do like
ketchup on roast beef. My
stuff.
father used to do that. It drove me nuts. I used to say,
parents grew
Dad,
up, ketchup went on everything, so I don't know.
I used to correct.
So I get why
parents.
you don't like the cheesesteak, but I also get why a lot of people do.
Yeah, I
it has a lot of
understand it.
flavors at one time.
I don't begrudge them. People who like things that are overcooked meat with very
you
greasy.
Sort of do.
But
you sort of do.
And that's why I always gravitated to the roast pork with broccoli rabe sandwich,
Yes.
which I say should be the real, signature sandwich of Philadelphia, except nobody agrees with me because Brian put it on the menu. He called it the Mike Mayo sandwich.
He said it was affordable to make too. He was rooting you on.
Yeah. And the thing I like about it, because it has provolone cheese and then a little broccoli rabe.
For a little bit of
and like
bitterness.
me, broccoli rabe, a little bitter. You need a little bitterness on your sandwich to give it the contrast. But the general public, what
People
do
did
they
not
know?
agree with that.
They like Domino's Pizza and Papa John's. So
I don't know if that's
to
true.
hell with everybody. All right, one more topic before we call it afternoon and take our third break. On the Let's Eat group today, Lois Solomon, who we met at the matzo ball judging competition, she's been writing more food features lately, and she actually posted something on the group a few weeks ago about when you go out with a big group, how do you handle splitting the check and paying a bill and all that stuff? And she used some of the comments there and talked to some restaurateurs about going out in a large group and how you handle it, especially when some people drink and some people don't, and some people order the most expensive, lobster and Dover sole, and the other ones just want the, the ground sirloin or a burger. You go out with a lot of large groups, and I know we've discussed this before, but what's your handle on how you guys handle and divvying it up? Or
Well, it depends. I don't know. I mean, if you're with a bunch of people that are drinking bottles of red wine, and I'm not having any of it, and they're $70 a pop, and you're with 6 people, and you had one glass of Chardonnay, and the bill comes to several $100s, a lot of it based on the 4 or 5 bottles of $70 wine. Do you really want to be putting the money in for that? No. But at the same time, you're going out with people. My normal procedure would be everybody pays whatever their share would be if it's 3 couples, and you split it in thirds. But doesn't always work out favorably that way. So,
what do we got? Coconut pie. Okay, Brian, because this was another thing on the group. I hate to interrupt Defo, but okay, and of course, Sanana makes the best, not just a coconut cream pie, and I love her peanut butter chocolate pie, but that key lime pie is a winner. But yeah, we're gonna have a bite of this in a minute. But as you were saying, when you're with a big group and somebody's drinking, do you split and have the alcohol taken off separately and make them pay?
Yeah, you don't want to be a big pain in the ass for the person that's serving. Separate checks is one way to go. I know you're not a big fan of that, but each couple pays their own way. That could be. I think it's easy to do now, and much easier than it used to be back in the day. Now that everything's computerized, and sometimes you have a pre-arrangement with people that they're going to pay whatever, or somebody's going to order a bottle of wine for the table and pay for it themselves.
It's become like a prenup, actually.
But you don't want to be in a battle over who owes what.
Right.
And I certainly don't want to be sitting there
Fighting
trying
a
to
check,
discern.
yeah.
Oh my God, you had the extra pickle
with the calculators out.
Yeah, no,
And
I'm
there
not a
are
big fan of that.
people I know like that. I used to go like some of my relatives, and when they get together, and some of them lived in Aventura, some of them lived in Boca. We get together, and then it's like they got the abacus and the calculators, and they're going
you don't
to
want to be doing
So what I'll say is, my wife is very much like you two gentlemen, generous. Doesn't worry about whatever a bill is. Doesn't worry about what her share is. Isn't watching. Anyone who's met me, I'm very different because we don't drink a lot. We don't eat a lot. And we'll go out with these people who order apps, who order entrees, they'll order dessert. They're not only getting drinks. A lot of my friends, they'll do shots, which are extremely expensive when you're going out to places down here in South Florida. We don't do any of that. So I am the one that watches the entire night. And I'm like, that's weird that we're going to split this even. I know we're going to split it even. I know how my wife works, where you just put in a card.
Sometimes
I've learned to not say anything because I've been around you two.
You just take the loss,
And I keep my mouth shut, but I'm not going to lie to you. In my head, I'm like,
it's the price you pay
bothers
for
the crap
having
out of me.
friends, right? And sometimes, look, my contention is this. First of all, when I go out, we usually eat family style. So like
Yes,
I'm the
that I
table
get.
captain. I'll just order a bunch of appetizers and a bunch of main
Everyone's sharing a
courses.
different story.
I'll say,
whatever.
does anybody have anything they really want to get? And then we'll get that. And then everybody will kind of like
Yes.
divide it up and have a taste. Now, I know a lot of people think that's weird, and I am weird. But that was part of when I was a critic. I used to want to taste
wanna get
as much
everything,
as I can. And I wanted everybody else to taste everything to get their perspectives on it. So
Yeah.
I'm used to having everybody kind of take a bite and a taste of everything. And that way,
Then
at
you
the end
should
of the
share.
day,
Sharing
then
is
you're
fine.
just splitting the check anyway. Now, if you're going out with like
You're
three
getting
couples and
entrees.
each get their own entrees, and so they actually quoted me in this, and
Oh no!
and I
'Cause you're weird
I
about
say because basically Lois posed the question of how big should the table get, and I say I don't like going out with large groups of people. I said 4 is optimal, 6 maximum. Like
Yes,
I can't
we're
stand going
aware.
out with 10 or 12 people because first of all you can't talk to everybody anyway. So
100%.
what's the point?
And then it gets crazy.
And then it
takes
gets
forever.
crazy.
Yep,
So
yep,
I
yep.
say 6 max. And I said with a small size group, I just like to split the check either in half if it's 4 people or in thirds if
Yeah.
it's 6.
Yeah.
And I said no
you just eat it.
tallying.
It's what you do. Yeah.
I just no tallying, no hair splitting. And I said in the end, after multiple meals, it should all even out.
Yes.
Or get new friends. Like if you don't drink or you drink only red wine and your friends only like to have tequila,
Shots, yeah.
that's not a very compatible
it's not even,
situation.
yeah.
So like just find
No,
some-
we're all
and-
adults and we just split it. Even I'm just the curmudgeon because we just aren't big eaters. Like even if we want to, and we're not big drinkers.
What are you
like,
on Ozempic or something?
we just have never like. You guys make fun of me, but there's a reason I take a lot of food to go. I don't like eating a lot at one time. I don't like being overfilled. It's just I don't enjoy it. And my wife just naturally does. We're smaller people, I guess. I don't know. So like when people are pounding and we're not, there's something called. And I don't live life to be fair. I know life's not fair. I've heard that my entire freaking life. But at a meal, it can be like that. Bothers me if you're getting entrees and we're not. We're sharing on. We'll share entrees. Like that's how Shirley and I
you
are.
guys are in
and,
your kind of young couples
Yeah, yeah,
before kids, have a house. Do you go out with other friends or family or how does
in life we have, and we usually just because that Shirley hates splitting. She hates that word, which I don't understand why she hates it. It's so easy to do now, but just give them your card. Just stop it.
Oh,
Give
you
me
mean
your card.
divvying it up when trying to
Everyone
figure
gives their
out-
card and they split it even. And that's
Okay.
fine. And I do it because I am a grown adult who's married with a home. So I understand you have to be civil and I don't want people making me the outcast. But I do it. I am admitting that I do I track everything and it bothers the crap out of me. When we've had one entree, we've split. We each had a drink and they've been pouring it on for hours. And at the end, okay. It's like, dude, I ate like, and they have kids and it's like, we have 15% of what you put in, your 100%. But again, I'm a big boy now and I deal with it.
All right.
But yes,
And again, I'm a big proponent of just like being left alone and going out with
Yes.
just a couple.
people,
and
yeah,
that's
people
it.
you
But,
can hang with. Yeah.
yeah, but all right, well, that's online now on the sunsentinel.com if you want to check it out and get some tips for if you do go out. And a lot of people do have their like weekly Friday
Go
night,
regularly, yep.
Saturday night
My
groups.
parents did when I was growing up.
Yeah, and but again, when it gets above 6, it gets a little hanky.
It can be hectic,
I
yes.
don't like it. Let's take our third and final break, and then we'll wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox. Before we do, Tropical Acres.
Yes.
It is Wednesday, and that means 2 deals on the table today at Tropical Acres. You've got the $39 Twin Lobster Special, which is available all summer long, Monday through Friday, while supplies last. It includes a salad and a side dish. Twin, straight from New England,
Yep.
steamed lobsters.
Side in a salad.
I love it. I love going there with one other person, either Val or my daughter. And then one of us gets the twin lobsters. Another one gets either the beautiful prime rib that they have. Usually just a queen cut, the 10 ounce is good. And you get a little surf and turf action going. That is my recommended play at Tropical Acres. Second deal is happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30, also Monday through Friday. And you got the half price drinks, any drink in the house. I mean, I get my Belvedere martinis there for $8, and I do a double take. It's like it's cheaper than all the pizzas that
Yep.
like crappy pizza. I mean, you
Yep.
can get a nice light bite at the bar. They got those sliders made from ground sirloin and a Belvedere martini. That's under $20. Can't beat those deals. Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road in Old Fort Lauderdale, Dania Beach. They open every day but Sunday. They also have the butcher shop if you want to get some of those great fine cut butchered steaks to throw on the grill at home. You can run in there from 10 a.m. all the way up until closing time and pick up your steaks for the weekend. Tropical Acres, tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take that final break, and then we'll conclude this edition, but we'll have some of the coconut cream
Nice.
cake that Sonata makes. She's a great baker.
She's a great baker.
Great dessert case here at Wicked Cheesesteaks. We'll be back after this. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen. Delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. For casual yet sophisticated contemporary American cuisine, Burton's Grill and Bar. Now with 2 South Florida locations, 1003 South University Drive in Plantation and 5580 North Military Trail in Boca. I've become a huge fan of this place. Great food and hospitality, family friendly, a full gluten-free menu, and a staff that's very mindful of guest allergies and special dietary needs. They're open 7 days with an all-day menu, weekend brunch, and happy hour specials. And oh, don't miss that short rib grilled cheese or their famed key lime pie. So good. They offer catering and delivery, and download the Burton's app for extra specials and bonuses, including $15 to sign up. Go to burtonsgrill.com for more information. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Looking for inspired comfort food in a cozy setting? Blue Collar in Miami is the place to go. Located at 6789 Biscayne Boulevard, it moved to bigger digs a year ago, now has full liquor, and still features all your old favorites from chef owner Danny Surfer. Fantastic burgers, the braise of the day, and the city's best key lime pie. And the summer specials are sizzling with BOGO lunch sandwiches every weekday from noon to 5 p.m. in June and July, Miami Spice menu in August, September, and drink specials every day. Open daily with weekend brunch. For reservations and information, go to bluecollarmiami.com. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and information, go to thehouseontheriver.com. All right, that's going to do it today for the Lunchbox. We both sampled the coconut cake. Again, Sonata is
She
a
does a really
master
good job.
baker. The cake portion itself, I love. I love the cream.
Really nice.
But, I have an issue. One of the few foods that I don't like is shredded coconut.
Yeah.
I just don't like the texture. I never liked Mounds bars. Were you a Mounds bar fan?
I liked them, but it wasn't my favorite candy. But you had to say, okay, I'm going to step out of my zone here and have the mounds. That was a Hershey bar guy back in the day.
Well, I was.
You know what?
You know what I was? Chunky.
The chunky, yeah, but you didn't get enough. Even though it was a chunk of chocolate, you had the size on the side, on the
thick,
size,
wide, and yet very small.
Yeah,
little
yeah.
square.
You wanted more chocolate, pretty much.
Reggie bars. Did
100%.
you like Reggie bars?
Wasn't a big fan, as I
like
recall. I like paydays actually. Yeah.
I like paydays too, but not the candy. I just like getting checks. No, and one of the things is one of the places. This was a topic of discussion on Let's Eat. Where do you get a good coconut? It wasn't coconut cream pie, because that I would say Bob Ross, New River Groves. And we got to get in there. That place is also a iconic
it's
spot.
iconic, yep.
We'll do that at some point. But Ukiah, which just opened up, and the same chef Mike Lewis, who started Q down in Wynwood, he has what's called Mom's Coconut cake. And his mother in Baltimore made him this cake, and
It's ridiculous.
I love it because it has a little
it's
scoop
ridiculous.
of like house-made coconut gelato on the side that
Yeah.
doesn't have any of the shredded coconut, just coconut flavor.
Yeah.
But the cake itself, the
It's
reason
nuts.
I love it is because the shredded coconut that he uses, he toasts it
Yeah.
first.
So it tames it a little bit.
So it tames, well, it basically, instead of getting that chewy texture from just the shredded coconut, the
Yeah.
toasting part makes it just crunch and easily dissolve when you chew
It's not
it.
as strong a flavor.
And it's
That's
not
what
as strong.
The
a
two
flavor.
cakes I actually enjoy very much. The difference that is more subtle of a coconut flavor, where this is a coconut cake.
Well, it's full on coconut with the
Yeah.
shredded coconut.
Which is
And-
why I
and some
actually like
people
Mounds Bar, and
you
I
know,
like that cake.
For me, I
so.
kind of chew it, and it turns out like I can't get it chewed
Yeah, it's
all
like
the
too much.
way. And but again, food very subjective, and
Yep.
this is an
I
excellent
think it's fantastic.
coconut cake for those who are in the market for a coconut
Yeah,
cake.
it's really good.
Some other places that were being mentioned besides Ukiah and Q, place in Wilton Manors that is a bar that I'd never heard of, and I forgot the name of it. I should put it, but if you go on a Let's Eat group and just do a search for coconut cake, you'll find that. And yeah, but meanwhile, I'm trying to steer clear of desserts.
There you go.
Not doing a very good job of it lately, but that's going to do it for today. Tomorrow will be
A special show.
a special show. Talk about desserts, yeah, and chocolates.
Steering away.
It's a new boutique high-end chocolatier that has been expanding. Started in Fort Myers, of all places. We're going to be talking to the CEO, but it's Norman Love Chocolates and Dessert Salon. It's in Boca Raton. And I imagine I will have to double up on the Ozempic or my metformin and bring the blood sugar back down, or I might just take a nap after the show, after a full-fledged chocolate and dessert extravaganza, and we'll see what's going on. These Norman Love
Yeah, looking
chocolates.
forward to it.
There's one in Delray Beach and the one in Boca Raton in Western Boca. I think it's on St. Andrews Avenue. It just opened up about a month ago. So
Nice.
we'll check that out tomorrow. And then Friday, of course, we'll be back at our Friday fun place, 10 Palms at Gulfstream Park. It's going to be a good rest of the week. All right. Thanks to Brian.
Yes.
Kudos. Big Lunchbox
Yeah,
approval.
roasted
Thumbs up
sandwiches.
for the new roast beef sandwiches here. And until tomorrow, enjoy every roast beef sandwich.